Nicole LeBlanc. I am an instructor in MB Eat, which stands for Mindfulness-Based Eating Awareness Training. I'm very excited that we will be rolling out MB Eat, which is a 12-week plus one-day retreat at Mental Health and Addiction Services of Ottawa. This will be commencing on November 21st, 2017, which is a Tuesday evening from 6 to 8:30 p.m. and will run every Tuesday until February 12th, 2018. There will be a 2-week pause over the holidays, and then we will return after that. The reason why I wanted to put out this video is because, from my knowledge, this is the first time that MB Eat will be introduced in the Ottawa area. And therefore, I wanted to provide a bit more information so that you can make an informed decision of whether or not this would be an appropriate group for you and your needs, and perhaps that of someone you know, maybe a loved one, a friend, an acquaintance. And if so, you can forward this video to them. And in addition, we will be holding a free orientation session a week before the starting date of this group at the site of where the group will take place at MASO, Mental Health and Addiction Services of Ottawa. This is going to take place on Tuesday, November 14th from 6 to 8 p.m. So during that time, I'm going to provide a lot of the information that's shared in this video, plus I will be elaborating on that and answering questions you may have. So I welcome all of you to attend that as well. So MB Eat, it's based on over 30 years of research and clinical trials that was conducted by its founder, Dr. Jean Christeller, as well as colleagues. Dr. Jean Christeller is a clinical psychologist and also the co-founder of the Center for Mindful Eating in New Hampshire. And so initially she actually created this program because she found that traditional approaches to treating binge eating disorder and obesity in particular were not very effective in having long-lasting success. In particularly reducing the number of binges long term, as well as helping people lose weight and maintain that weight loss. So there's a couple of reasons why she's identified that these were not successful, or these have not been successful. One is because what you resist persists. So a lot of traditional programs to reducing compulsive eating and overeating is, resisting particular foods and resisting the temptation to overeat. So with that is not only avoiding eating particular foods, craving foods, if you will, but also changing your environment so you're going to be less tempted. But what ends up often happening, the more you tell yourself you can't have something or avoid something or too much of something, the more likely you're going to, have a caving moment and not only eat that food, but tend to overeat that food. Secondly, traditional approaches also focus and narrow the issues around these kind of eating patterns around, one, that individuals don't have enough nutritional education, which partially is true. And two, the idea that people just lack self-control and the willpower to control themselves and eat in a way that's in line with what their body needs. Now, this is a simplistic understanding because it doesn't really capture the whole story. There are a variety of issues that come into play that create maladaptive eating patterns. Such as biological, physiological, psychological, social, and environmental factors. And so Dr. Christeller identified that, when there's an unfulfilled need in any of these areas, oftentimes we're going to be filling those voids with the overuse of food, for example. So what MB Eat does is it aims to try to provide a more holistic approach. It combines mindfulness, meditation practice, cognitive therapy techniques, as well as general nutritional guidelines in order to help individuals create a more positive and healthy relationship to both food and their bodies. So through this type of model or practice, you're going to learn not only how to become more in tune to your actual physical and hunger cues and decipher the difference between that and what we call pseudo hunger cues. So what I mean by that is, sometimes we're bored, or we're tired, or we're sad, but we interpret that as we're hungry or we have a craving. And so we might rely on particular foods or overeat foods to try to fill that need, but because it's not actually accurately meeting our needs, we are left feeling unfulfilled, and oftentimes we're left with a lot of judgmental thoughts and feelings related to our choices of how we tended to our needs. So through this program, you will really become more in tune with deciphering the difference between what's your actual experience and what is not really the truth in how we meet our needs, where our needs lie. Additionally, we're going to talk about how eating habits develop and how we can transform them. Talking about how we can effectively respond to emotional distress without the quick fix of trying to self-soothe through food, for example. We're also going to talk about the benefit of self-compassion practice and how self-compassion can help us through this journey of transforming our relationship to both food and our bodies. So these are a few of the learning goals that will be achieved through this process. And there are a variety of others, but I don't want to give it all away before you start the program. So that's just a little bit of information, and I hope to see you all at the information session, and I will see you then, hopefully. Bye.